Okay, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and I'm headed over here to I'm fixing to leave the house. I'm headed right down, right here in my neighborhood. By now, y'all been seeing where I dropped the brush cutter off over there yesterday afternoon. Yeah. So it's 5 minutes to 8. I told him I'd be over there around 8:15. And again, this job right here, I was thinking about it, when I got home last night, and I'm thinking, okay, is it really going to take me 2 days? I don't, after looking at it again yesterday, my thinking now, I didn't tell him this, but my thinking was, okay, and I'm learning, right, is, okay, if I can get $1,200 a day or $1,200, well, I'm thinking like that behind the scenes, but I want to do better than, I want to do better than that as far as the thinking goes. I want to be able to not necessarily make more money. Well, I don't want to say that either, because I always want to make more money, but I want to get better at my timing and being able to predict things. One thing about being out here solo, where you don't have a lot of distractions, a lot of people in your ear and with labor and all that, well, you can predict things better, and that's what you got to get good at that, or you're going to really have a hard time making top dollar, right? That's my thinking. And the more I do on solo, the more I understand that, right? I understand the I don't know, how to prepare, how to predict, and how to make sure that I'm, and I'm getting better at that, even though I don't really see that I'm getting better at that. But basically what I've done over here is I told myself, okay, with the amount of work, I'm thinking it was going to take 2 days. That's what I'm thinking, a day and a half. But after I got to looking at it again, even though I'm not charging by the day, once I told him, yeah, it's more than a day over here, and he says, yeah, I kind of figured that. I said, why don't we do $2,400? And that gives me 2 days in my own head. Now, I'm not telling him that. I'm just telling him $2,400. So can't nothing go wrong. And I hope that that's, to me, based on what I know today, now, where I'm at in my career, that's just the best way for me to learn, because you got to be able to predict somewhat. And when you're solo, you can predict a lot better, but you're not worried about things that are not in your control, like labor and what they're going to do on the job, if they're going to show up to work on time, if they're going to go home sick or whatever, all the noise, that ain't work. When I'm out here, and I got all those things on my head and in my brain, I'm not as good as I am when I'm solo. Now, of course, if you're solo and you don't have equipment and everything, then you're not going to be solo for long, because to make good money, you got to be able to move mountains, and if you can't move a mountain, then you're not going to be able to make good. Well, you make good money, but you're not going to be able to make the kind of money somebody that can move mountains. So the other guy that was working with me, the one that quit on me, go figure, the one that quit on me, because he has some medical issues, he's blowing me up on Facebook Messenger, insisting that I give him work. And I'm not trying, I'm not gonna, I think my own ego and my own self-awareness and self-value makes it where I just don't even, you know, I don't want to, man, even if it'll make my job easier. Number one, on jobs like I'm doing today and at my aunt's house, and, you know, last week with the other tree over there, and, you know, right over here, what is a guy on the ground gonna do? You know, at the end of the day, he's gonna spend maybe an hour picking up branches or whatever, and then what? You see, they got to know how to do something. Now, if they were loyal to me, right, and were transparent in the summertime and would, you know, help me push through, then I would help them push through the winter, because I'm always going to be okay. I mean, I might not be making, you know, as much in the winter as I do in the summer, but I'm not, you know, gonna miss a meal or nothing, no matter what. So as long as I got equipment and don't mind paying for the equipment, then I'm not gonna be missing no meals. And my winters are, at the end of the day, like right now, they're more profitable based on time, a lot more. But if a guy's not loyal in the summertime, then I'm not going to be loyal in the wintertime when they need work. See, you can't leave me high and dry, and it should be a lesson to, well, to anybody that watches the videos, that if you leave a guy, if you're working for a guy and he's treating you right and he's doing all the things that he said he was going to do, being me, and paying you good, and making sure that we're not killing ourselves, and blah 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 blah, and then, you know, after you approach me on a job, I wasn't reaching out for nobody to help me, and all of a sudden, you know, 3 or 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, you got a medical condition that you can't overcome, that you need surgery on, you can't work anymore. Well, needless to say, dude didn't get surgery. The problem is still there. And, you know, so why in the world am I going to sign up for that again when I feel a certain type of way about how I got done in, you know, in September, October? And did not give a damn if I lost the properties or what, could care less. And now gonna be the last month or so, asking for money, wanting to go to work, needing work, and help a player out, and all that stuff. I don't help a player out, and I ain't helping nobody out. I'm sorry, ain't nobody helping me out. Every time somebody helps me out, I'm paying them. I said paying them. So, they want to start fresh, holler at me in April. You holler at me at the end of March, early April, and we'll talk about it. But you're not gonna come out here when you know, when you get ready, when you need money. I bet you do. Everybody that cuts grass for a living and that's all they do needs money right now. Everybody. If that's all they do in my area, excuse me, except for those weekly guys. We know they're still going to the properties every week. But aside from them, if you cutting grass down here where I'm at, you ain't making no money right now. If that's all you do. You ain't. So right now, I cranked up the skid steer to get it warmed up. You know, I ain't trying to be cold. I got my earphones. So this was the setup right here that I was talking about yesterday. You see how I got it on the thing, so I can clamp this thing anywhere. See, and the battery won't go dead. So I should be able to get some more consistent footage, because usually on the jobs I'm always having to move the camera around to get different angles before the camera goes dead. And even though I have a couple of these right here, I don't have any that are like this that I can hook to, you know. So yeah, so we're gonna get over here. First thing we're gonna do is, well, park, and then we're gonna find we're gonna start on the first stumps, and then we're gonna work our way toward the back. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. As far as these guys needing work, labor, help, and all that, I don't have enough work for that, man. So if you're watching the videos, man, I don't really have enough work. If I have enough work, I will call you or text you, but I'm not manufacturing work for nobody like I would if they were down with me. They're, you know, so, and you got, you know, at least 12 more weeks of this. Yeah. Usually I don't start getting real busy, well, not real busy, but I don't start picking the properties, the yards back up until, well, April, you know. Yeah. But if I run into some big jobs where I need somebody, then I'll reach out and find somebody to help me. I know I'll be able to find somebody to help me for a day here and a day there because I pay good. I'm not trying to beat nobody. I'm not trying to you know, have people come out here and work and pay them $10 an hour and stuff. I got one guy texting me now. He was telling me he wants a job. It's not nobody that's ever worked for me before. That reached out on Facebook and said that he has a little bit of experience doing this, and that and I asked him what he needed to make, and he says $15 to $18 an hour. Well, so it really benefits me, you know. Yesterday having the taking the brush cutter over here to this job, so benefits, because it benefits him too, because now I don't have to worry about anything. I got all the attachments here. Now, one thing I didn't bring, and I'm probably gonna have to tomorrow, it was a blower. But I ain't trying to blow the woods out. I'm gonna try to get you down to the dirt, man. I'm gonna push all. There's leaves from and pine needles from years, so. Yeah. He said the AC guy's going to be over here today, so I don't know what that means. He's coming this morning. I think he said he's coming this morning, so. But I'll get some footage over here, y'all. Okay, y'all. So I want to make sure that I am getting all this. So I'm going to start right there. We're going to do all these stumps. Yeah. The further I get in toward the back, the less I got to worry about stuff going the other way. So, oh yeah, I ain't got time to keep it, y'all. Y'all kind of see where I'm at here. I'm gonna keep the camera going because there's a lot of rock in here, right? And another thing, there ain't no place to pee over here. So, but there's a lot of rock in here. So, I mean, all this ground right here, he's gonna have to have probably a lot of dirt in here. I'm going down, you know, 18 inches or so. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that big one yet. I'm going to get some of these little ones, because when I do that big one, it's going to make he's going to cover up a lot of stuff. So I'm going to get in here and get all this stuff, you know, all this little junk. That's nothing for this thing. So, but I got to pee, man. When I was grinding these stumps right here, there's a lot of stumps. So this doesn't need to pull on that. Yeah, I need to fix that. But apparently some stump debris hit the camera and it unplugged the charger. So the camera went dead. So I pretty much got all these. I need to put a bucket on and kind of just run through it. And there's a lot of good dirt in here. But you see, I went real deep, man. So, and it's 12 o'clock. I've been here 3 hours for this, which is pretty good, considering. But the bad thing about it is, I think, well, I want to undo the stump grinder and put a bucket on, put the grapple on, and come through here and pull up some of these things. But you don't want to keep going back and forth with the attachments either. You know, this tree right here is coming down, and then of course all these ones that are broke off, cut off, I want to get them too. I'd like to be able to pull them up, but I guess I can grind them. But this tree right here needs to come down. So maybe I'll just use the grinder and push it and grind it at the bottom right there. Yeah, but this looks pretty good right here now. But there's so many unknowns because you don't know. Once you run a bucket through here, you know, you won't know everything until you do that. So, and I got the tooth bucket and the grapple bucket. The bad thing about it is, in order for me to use the tooth bucket, I got to hook the grapple bucket up because it's in the grapple bucket. Things like that really hold you up. But I think I can get this pretty smooth. And I got a power rake at home, and I just live right around the corner, man. But earlier today, earlier when I was thinking about, man, I'm gonna be done. I'm not gonna build them 2 days, and not gonna be enough. I mean, 2 days is it's not gonna take me 2 days, like I was thinking. But I think it is, because we're at 3 hours now, and a day to me out here, for me, is about 6 hours of run time. Everything else is just, and I don't take no lunch or nothing. So, but me being in my neighborhood, I can do a little bit more overkill. But having, my biggest fear is unhooking the stump grinder and then not being able to get it hooked back up because of all the pressure and everything. But this thing right here is running like a freaking beast, y'all. Yeah. But I'm gonna need to grade this today. I want to get this done, this whole area right here done, and then well, I put a bucket on here. I can push some of this top stuff, but there's all kind of things in here to grind. I'm probably gonna have to put y'all on something else because yeah, I'll let y'all get the bird's eye view. I'll put y'all on that, man. But I don't guess I'm ready to take the stump grinder off yet because I got all this, and then there's a lot of when we put the bucket on, we want to be in the minimal scenario. See, I'm not worried about stuff like that. The grapple bucket will grab that and pull it right up. So yeah. So I'm gonna let the camera charge for a minute. Okay, y'all, so I got the grapple on here. I'm gonna get some of this smooth. I pulled that one out, but that pine one right there, I'm not gonna be able to get with that truck right there because I can't get on the slope. So I'm gonna set you up right here on the stump grinder, and I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna do some grappling. Okay, y'all, so this is 6 hours right here that I've been over here, and that's a day. So I'm gonna be right on point on the timing, my thinking on timing. Now I'm charging 2,400 over here, but this is pretty freaking good. Shouldn't have any problem putting a fence in. So tomorrow I'll touch this up right here. He may bring some dirt in. See, well, a lot of times what people don't understand is, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring some dirt in. Well, yeah, but if you're gonna bring dirt in, it means you gotta have somebody spread the dirt. So why not do that while I'm here? You know, I mean, sometimes the homeowners, and not this guy, but I'm just saying, a lot of times the homeowners, they can't get out of their own way. You know, I can save them a lot of money if they're going that route anyway. You know, of course, this looks really good though. All those stumps are gone. Yeah, and I'll be back in the morning, 8:30 to 3 o'clock. So it's not bad really. That's the time that I told myself that I was gonna, you know, spend over here, around 6 or 7 hours. I'm at a good stopping point though. So everything ran great. One thing about the cutter, I mean the grinder here, is it came unplugged. Not all the way, but some of the way unplugged. So you got to be careful of that right there, man, because you don't want to snatch nothing out, because you'll never get that back right. But yeah, so I took down all the trees that he wanted me to, except for the ones on the other side. My thinking was get all these stumps up today, right? And get everything, and get all the trees on this side of the property ground up, knocked down, or whatever. And yeah, so I'm gonna grab my rake and push all this stuff off the driveway. But other than that, y'all, shoot, this job's a wrap, man. The hard part's done. The rest of it is, well, I did run the brush cutter for a minute. Y'all saw that. So, yeah. But I'm taking this home with me. I don't like to leave it nowhere. It's so valuable, man. I mean, this thing right here, I've only had it about 2.5 months, and I've already, shoot, I'm real close to having my money back already. So anyway, we'll touch this up tomorrow. We'll let him come home tonight, check the trap, and then we'll formulate another plan tomorrow. But the scope is, well, tomorrow my thinking is I'll spend 4 or 5 hours over here. That's my thinking. You know, around 11 hours or 12 hours total over here. That's my thinking before I ever bid it on it. So, but yeah, we'll be back in the morning, y'all. All right, y'all. So, y'all see, man. Chucky ain't nothing nice, man. Ain't nothing nice. Having the right equipment, man, is everything. You can make a lot of money quick. You could. But having the right equipment and knowing what to do, like having that brush cutter help me with the grading, is really, really nice. So while I was working on that job, I got a text from another customer. Hey man, this is blah blah at blah blah Road, Sonoa. You've done a few jobs over here. Was wondering if you could swing by next week for a quote or a phone call, whichever's easier for you. So, you know, I mean, I'm steady, and you know, I know who they are. I know probably what they want, and I also know they don't want to spend. If I was charging $1,000 last year, then I'm at $1,200 this year. You know, because everything ain't done nothing but get more expensive. And if customers or potential customers or people that need work done don't want to pay, and they don't want to you know, negotiate at all, then I ain't got time for them. And if I did, I don't want to take the time for them, right? You know, and I'm not nobody special, unique, or anything. I just, you know, I know that people will pay what I need to make. I know they will. I get paid all the time. Like, I need to make. I can do a lot of stuff, and most homeowners and people that are going to hire somebody like me, they're not used to one person being able to do all the stuff that I can do. That's true. How many guys that do YouTube that are in the lawn care game, how many of them do the kind of work that I do, where I'm cutting grass, right? I'm trimming trees, I'm grinding stumps, I'm brush cutting fields, I'm grading, mulching, mowing. See what I'm saying? So how many people actually do all of that? I don't know of any of them. And you got some that are really big in the lawn care, but they don't do skid steer work. And then you got some that are really big in the skid steer, but they don't do lawn care work. I do both, and that puts me in an odd box, if you will. It does. They're not gonna, you know, people are not gonna pay me like the lawn guy when I'm pulling around this machine, and that's what they try to do. But see, I got capabilities, man, out of this world. I've said out of this world, man, with all the attachments I got, and then me getting better and better and better on the machine. The better I get on the machine, you know, the Kubota, and the more experience I get with the attachments, the more I can make them do. And the more I can make them do, the more I'm going to market whatever I've learned to do. I'm going to get paid for all the cheap work that I do. I'm going to learn every time, and we're going to just go from there. So I was over at my aunt's house 5 days learning. Didn't make $1, and that's okay. But I can't, obviously I can't live like that. All right, so we're gonna get that money back. Let me top the machine off, man, and give me some chicken. Want some chicken.